Hello, everyone. So, there's a protective energy surrounding you right now that you might not fully see yet, but someone else does. What I'm sensing is that there could be a person in your world who's been watching how you've been treated, how you've been showing up, how you've been carrying yourself through everything you've been facing. And something inside them is shifting from quiet observation to active intention. They might be reaching a point where they're no longer willing to stay silent, stay neutral, or stay on the sidelines when it comes to you. If you've been feeling alone in your battles, like no one truly has your back or sees what you're going through, this energy might be about to prove you wrong. Let me walk you through what I'm picking up on. Because this isn't just about someone having feelings for you. This is about someone who might be preparing to make their position clear to everyone in a way that leaves no room for interpretation. There's a strong possibility that this person has been paying attention to you for longer than you realize. They've noticed the people who take you for granted, the ones who don't appreciate what you bring, the ones who treat your kindness like weakness or your patience like permission to keep disrespecting you. And what I'm sensing is that they're not okay with it anymore. Something might be building in them, a protective instinct that goes beyond casual concern. This could be someone who's starting to feel like your well being, your peace, your reputation matters to them in a way that's becoming impossible to ignore. They might be the type of person who doesn't speak unless they mean it, who doesn't make moves unless they're serious, who's been observing quietly, but when they do step forward, everyone will know exactly where they stand. And where they stand is with you. Drop a if you've been waiting for someone to choose you loudly. Now, let me talk about who this person might actually be because the energy I'm picking up on has some specific qualities. This could be someone who's been in your life in some capacity already, possibly someone you know but haven't thought about romantically or haven't considered as someone who sees you this way. They might be someone you interact with regularly, someone who's witnessed your character, your struggles, your strength over time. What stands out about this person is their integrity. This might be someone who values loyalty, who believes in standing up for what's right, who doesn't play games or operate from a place of ego. When they commit to something or someone, they mean it fully. They could be someone with a strong presence, not necessarily loud or dominating, but solid, grounded, the type of person others respect or listen to when they speak. Someone whose opinion carries weight in their circles. And importantly, this might be someone who's been building their own life, their own stability, their own sense of self. They're not looking for you to complete them or fix them. They're coming from a place of wholeness, wanting to add to your life rather than take from it. As for their name, what I'm picking up on is interesting. The energy around this person might be connected to names that feel strong, protective, classic, names that carry weight, names with solid sounds. I'm sensing possible connections to names like Michael, Marcus, Matthew, David, Daniel, Alexander, Gabriel, Christopher, Nicholas, Adrian, Dominic, Victor, Vincent, Julian, Sebastian, or names that start with strong consonants like J, M, D, R, or K. But here's what's important to understand: the specific name matters less than the energy they carry. You might already know who this is when you hear their qualities, even if their name wasn't on that list. Your intuition will recognize them before your mind does. What I'm sensing most strongly is that this person sees something in you that others have missed or taken for granted. They see your worth, your potential, the way you show up for others, even when you're struggling yourself, the strength it takes to keep going when things have been hard and they're not content to watch from a distance anymore. Comment protected if you're ready for someone to stand up for you. Let me talk about what fight everyone for you might actually mean in practical terms, because I want to be clear about the energy I'm sensing here. This isn't necessarily about physical confrontation, though this person would probably not hesitate if you were in actual danger. What I'm picking up on is more about emotional, social, and energetic protection. This could mean defending your name when others try to speak on you incorrectly, shutting down conversations where people are gossiping about you, or misrepresenting who you are, making it clear to mutual connections that they need to show you proper respect or they'll have a problem with this person. It might mean confronting someone who's been stringing you along, playing games with your emotions, or treating you like an option. This person could be reaching a point where they're ready to tell that other person directly, either step up properly or step aside, because you deserve better than what you've been receiving. It could also mean fighting against your own doubts about yourself, being the voice that reminds you of your worth when you're forgetting it, challenging the negative stories you tell yourself, refusing to let you settle for less than you deserve, even when it's comfortable or familiar. What I'm sensing is that this person might be preparing to make their intentions unmistakably clear, not just to you, but to everyone in your shared world. They might be tired of watching you be undervalued, tired of seeing you give your energy to people who don't reciprocate, tired of standing by while you question whether anyone truly sees you. And they're about to make sure you know and everyone else knows that someone does see you, that someone is willing to claim you publicly, that someone considers you worth fighting for in every sense of that phrase. This energy feels like it could manifest in different ways depending on your specific situation. If you're in a complicated relationship situation, this person might be the one who finally offers you clarity and consistency, who doesn't make you guess or wonder or decode mixed signals, who shows up straightforwardly and says, I want you, and I'm not afraid of anyone knowing it. If you're single and have been feeling invisible or passed over, this person might be preparing to pursue you in a way that feels refreshing and direct. No games, no ambiguity, just clear, intentional interest that doesn't leave you questioning where you stand. If you're in a friend group or social circle where dynamics have been weird or where you felt unsupported, this person might be the one who publicly aligns with you, who makes it clear that if others have a problem with you, they have a problem with them too. The common thread in all of these scenarios is visibility and commitment. This person isn't interested in loving you or supporting you in private while remaining neutral in public. They're moving toward a place of open allegiance where everyone knows exactly who they're standing with. Drop a if you've been craving someone who isn't afraid to claim you publicly. Now, let me talk about what might be triggering this shift in them, because people don't usually go from passive observation to active protection without something catalyzing that change. There's a possibility that they recently witnessed something that made them realize they can't stay on the sidelines anymore. Maybe they saw someone disrespect you. Maybe they heard something said about you that was unfair or untrue. Maybe they noticed you hurting in a way that they couldn't ignore. Or maybe they've been fighting their own feelings for you, trying to convince themselves that staying friends or keeping distance was the right choice. But Something might have made them realize that watching you potentially end up with someone who doesn't value you properly would be more painful than the risk of being honest about how they feel. It's also possible that they've been doing their own internal work, healing from past relationships, building their life to a place where they feel ready to show up fully for someone, working through whatever kept them from being the partner they wanted to be before. And now they might be reaching a point where they feel ready, where they recognize that you're someone they don't want to let slip away, where they're willing to put themselves out there, even if it means vulnerability, even if it means potential rejection, because not trying feels worse than trying and failing. What I'm sensing is that their feelings for you might not be brand new. They could have been developing for a while, quietly growing stronger as they've gotten to know you, as they've watched how you handle life, as they've recognized qualities in you that they deeply value. But something is shifting from internal feeling to external action, from private acknowledgement to public declaration, from I care about them to I'm going to do something about the fact that I care about them. Let me also address your experience in all of this, because you're not just a passive recipient of someone else's protective energy. You might have sensed something changing with this person without being able to name it. Maybe they've been more present lately, more attentive, more interested in the details of your life, more protective in subtle ways that you noticed but didn't want to read too much into. Or maybe you felt completely blindsided by the possibility that someone sees you this way, especially if you've been so focused on someone else or so convinced that no one notices you. Either way, if this energy does manifest as I'm sensing it might, you're going to have some decisions to make, because someone being willing to fight for you is beautiful, but it also requires you to be honest about whether you want them to, whether you're available for what they're offering, whether you're ready to be chosen this clearly and have to rise to meet that level of intentionality. You can't control whether this person steps forward, but you can control how you respond if they do. And that requires you to get clear on what you actually want, not just what feels good in the moment because someone's finally paying attention. Do you see this person as someone you could genuinely build with? Or are you just excited by the attention and the feeling of being fought for? Are you emotionally available for what they might be offering? Or are you still hung up on someone else who isn't showing up for you the way this person is willing to? Are you ready for something real and potentially serious? Or are you still in a space where you want to keep things casual and undefined? These aren't judgments. These are just honest questions that will help you navigate this situation with integrity if it unfolds the way I'm sensing it might. Comment clarity if you're ready to be honest about what you actually want. Let me talk about what could happen when this person does make their move, because the energy feels like it's building toward action rather than remaining in the realm of private feeling. This might come as a direct conversation where they tell you exactly how they feel and what they want, where they lay everything out honestly, even if it's uncomfortable, even if they're nervous, because they've decided that you're worth the risk. They might say something like, I need you to know that I see you differently than everyone else seems to. I see your worth. I see what you bring. And I'm tired of watching you be treated like you're not valuable when you absolutely are. Or, I know this might change things between us, but I can't keep pretending I don't feel what I feel. I'm interested in you, seriously interested. And I want you to know that so you can make an informed choice about what you want. Or, I'm done watching you settle for less than you deserve. If you're willing to give me a chance, I'll show you what it looks like when someone actually values you the way you should be valued. The energy feels direct, honest, maybe even a little intense because they've been holding this in for a while, and once they start speaking, it's going to pour out. But it might not just be words. This person might show you through actions before they ever say anything explicitly. They might start positioning themselves as your defender in social situations, making their support of you obvious, creating distance from people who talk negatively about you, making it clear through their behavior whose side they're on. And others will notice. People in your shared circles might start picking up on the shift before you even fully register it yourself. There might be comments, questions, energy around you too that others start remarking on. What I'm sensing is that this person isn't interested in hiding how they feel once they've decided to act on it. They're moving toward transparency, toward boldness, toward making their position known in a way that changes the dynamic permanently. Now, let me address something important about timing because you might be wondering when this could actually happen. The energy feels imminent. Not necessarily today or tomorrow, but soon, within weeks rather than months. Something might be reaching a tipping point where this person either acts or loses the opportunity, and I'm sensing they're becoming aware of that. There could be an external trigger coming, an event where you'll both be present, a situation that forces proximity or creates an opening for honest conversation. Or simply a moment where they realize that if they don't speak now, they might regret it later. Pay attention to shifts in how this person interacts with you. More eye contact, more deliberate conversation, more questions about your life, your feelings, your situation. More physical presence, like they're finding reasons to be near you or spend time with you. These could be signs that they're building toward something, testing the waters, gathering courage, preparing to make their move. And when it happens, you'll likely feel it in your body before your mind catches up. There will be a weight to the conversation, an intensity to the energy, a sense that something significant is shifting between you. Drop a if you're ready for someone to step up with clear intention. Let me also talk about what this could mean for your life moving forward if you choose to be open to what this person is offering. This might be the beginning of a relationship that feels fundamentally different from what you've experienced before. Because when someone comes to you from a place of already seeing your worth, already willing to fight for you, already clear about their intentions, you don't have to convince them of your value. You don't have to prove yourself worthy of their effort. You don't have to play games or strategize or wonder. You can just be yourself. And that version of yourself is already enough for them. That's incredibly rare. Most connections start from a place of uncertainty, of both people trying to figure out if the other person is worth the investment. But this person might be coming to you having already made that determination. They've watched you, they know who you are, and they've decided you're worth showing up for fully. If you allow this to develop, you might discover what it feels like to be pursued consistently. To have someone who doesn't disappear when things get hard, who doesn't need space when you need support, who doesn't make you feel like you're too much or not enough. You might learn what it's like to have a true partner, someone who sees your battles as their battles, who celebrates your wins as their wins, who stands beside you facing the world rather than making you face everything alone. But you'll also be challenged to receive this kind of treatment, to not self sabotage because it feels too good or too easy, to not push them away because you're not used to being treated well, to not create problems where none exist because part of you doesn't believe you deserve this. That's the work that might be ahead of you if this unfolds. Not just deciding if you want this person, but deciding if you're willing to let yourself be loved the way you've been claiming you want to be loved. As we move toward closing, I want to leave you with some grounding thoughts about protection, loyalty, and being fought for. It's beautiful when someone is willing to fight for you, when someone sees you as worth defending, worth claiming, worth standing up for publicly. That kind of allegiance is precious and shouldn't be taken lightly. But remember that the most important person who needs to fight for you is you. This person's protection is an addition to your life, not a replacement for your own self-advocacy. You still need to know your worth independently of whether anyone else recognizes it. You still need to set your own boundaries, speak your own truth, stand in your own power. Let this person's willingness to fight for you remind you that you're worth fighting for. Let it reinforce what you should already know about yourself. Let it be a mirror that reflects back your own value. But don't give away your power by making someone else's perception of you more important than your own perception of yourself. If this person steps forward, as I'm sensing they might, receive it with gratitude, but also with discernment. Let their actions over time show you whether their protective energy is genuine and sustainable, or whether it's performative and temporary. Watch how they treat you when no one's watching, how they speak about you when you're not in the room, how they handle conflict or disappointment, how they respect your autonomy while also offering support. True protection isn't about possession or control. It's about creating safety while honoring freedom. It's about standing with someone without standing over them. It's about adding strength to their life without diminishing their own power. May you recognize the real thing when it shows up. May you be brave enough to receive it. And may you never settle for protection that comes with conditions or expectations that compromise who you are. You deserve someone who fights for you because they genuinely see you, value you, and want good things for you, not because they want to own you, control you, or use your gratitude to manipulate you. Trust yourself to know the difference, and trust that you are absolutely worthy of the genuine version. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't, and remember that your worth exists whether anyone fights for you or not. But it sure is beautiful when someone does. Stay grounded, stay clear, stay true to yourself, and get ready, because someone might be about to show you what real protection and loyalty actually look like. You've been worth fighting for all along. Maybe now someone else is finally ready to prove it to you. I don't sell futures, I build architects. No predictions, just the raw truth for the tough ones. Stay magic, stay in the now.